What's going on, everyone? My name is Miles. Welcome back to another Apex Legends video. In today's video, I have the Promised Coaching Series episode 3 that I'm going to bring you, and this one's going to be a little bit different because I'm going to show a gameplay of me playing actually in Platinum 1. And the reason I was in Platinum 1 and not my normal Apex Predator is because I was playing on my Smurf account with my friend Luke. And so in doing this, I wanted to show you some of the decisions that I make in Platinum 1 and how you guys can get out of Platinum in order to rank up in Apex Legends. So I'm just going to go over some things that I did, and then I'm also going to show you a duos gameplay sent in by a viewer. And the reason I want to show the duos gameplay is because I really do believe that duos is going to be a ranked game mode here in season 4 coming up. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So first, I'm going to show off the game of me playing in Platinum, and there are some things I actually do make mistakes on. Now, I know you guys may think, well, I'm Apex Predator, and if you're playing in Platinum, then you're obviously just going to make all the perfect decisions in all of these situations, and it's not really true. Sometimes I actually get out of situations due to my gun skill rather than actually making good decisions. Sometimes in Platinum, I make poor decisions as far as positioning and rotation that I wouldn't make in Apex Predator, because Platinum level lobbies are a little bit different and people play them differently, so you have to kind of adjust. And the reason I get out of those situations is more for my gun skill and not really for that decision making. So there are some times I do make mistakes as far as positioning and rotation, and so I am going to point those out. I'm just going to show you guys those decisions that I made that were poor, and I'm also going to show you guys some decisions that I made that were really good and as to why I made those decisions. So let's go ahead and get right into the video.
Yeah, what works?
I'm recording in 4K right now.
Alright, so we did decide to land Lava. Lava's not a place I actually normally land, but when I was going for the Race Across the Map challenge, we landed Lava all the time, and I realized that Lava has a lot of really good loot. So that's why I decided to land at Lava here. I think we really came away from Lava with a lot of good loot even in this game, so I'm not sure why this is not going away. There it goes. So right off the bat, I get a PK and an R9, so that's usually my go-to loadout anyways. So that was a really good drop here at Lava. The only problem that I had here was I don't have my legendary skins for the R9, so that was a little upsetting. But the best thing I always try to say for your games, for your ranked games, a lot of the reasons that you guys are constantly going down is because you'll get one good game, like a good win, and then the next 4 games you'll get like really bad drops, really like just not enough kills, not enough loot, and that's why you're losing a lot of points, is because you may get one game, but then you just lose all of it from You'll just lose everything that you gained in that one game because you get really bad drops the next games. So learn how to be consistent. Find some places that you really like. This is why I have the top 5 best landing locations video, is because you're not always going to be able to drop at the same spot over and over and over again. You can't drop Lava every time. You can't drop Skyhook every time. There's going to be times that it's not going to be a good decision. So find multiple spots that you're really comfortable with. I'm not sure why I didn't pick up that body shield at first when I saw it, but yeah, so my general landing locations are recently I've been choosing to land Lava. It seems like a really good place, but usually it's going to be Skyhook, it's going to be Dome, it's going to be Tree, a Thermal Station. Refinery used to be a really good drop for me, but since they changed the loot distribution, that purple armor is not always in there, so I don't really land Refinery that much anymore. So Lava, Skyhook, Dome, Tree, Thermal Station, those are usually where I choose to land. Don't land Capital City, please. Please just don't do it, because it is not the Skull Town of World's Edge. It's just not. And so here, obviously, there's not a big rotation as far as like getting a good position in the zone. We're just getting to the zone because it's literally right next to us, and we've looted everything in Lava. So also another good tip is to try to be aware of what your teammates are using or what they need. And so like if you don't think that you're going to need a light attachment or a light weapon or light ammo, try to use your tab feature and see what ammo your teammates are rocking, and then also make sure to take note of the pings that they request for. So if they request at the beginning of the game that they need a light mag, try to remember those things, because it could be really helpful for your teammates, and if it's helpful for your teammates, then it's helpful for you. And my teammate did just ping a scout, and usually that would be weird, but the scout is so good, and you guys are probably underestimating the scout. A scout is really a good weapon. So if I don't hear extra footsteps, I like to go ahead and finish people, just because I don't like to give them the opportunity to revive. Just go ahead and get them out of the game. I don't know how the Peacekeeper did 10 damage right there. That's why most people have a love-hate relationship with the Peacekeeper. Fully charged and only does 10 damage. The only problem right here is my team and I are pretty split. We're not really playing together. And I think the reason being is just because of the idea that I was, you know, in Plat 1. Or maybe we were just making mistakes. But our teammate was actually really helpful. And he wasn't just another rando teammate. You know, he was actually playing with us and helping us out a little bit. I think he was communicating. See, like, the Peacekeeper, like, it's just 8, 10, like, I just don't understand that. It doesn't make any sense.
Is that all of them? Walk your hair?
So we're just chasing down this last Bangalore and trying to trap him. And I think teammate did get that Bangalore. And so it's nothing really too specific. We haven't done any big rotations because we did get a good zone off the start.
Alright, let's go get it. I got a vault. You wanna get it?
And so you'll notice here we do get a vault key. You guys need to really be putting an emphasis on the vault key if you do find one. Unfortunately, this one was already taken, but if you're at a spot like Train Yard and you get a vault key and you aren't blessed like us to already have all purple armors, then you really need to make sure that you're going to get this vault key or this vault room, because having that armor advantage is going to be really huge in a gunfight, and you need every single advantage that you can have in order to really maximize your ranked games. Because you may get a 20-point game that you think is really, really good, but in all honesty, you really should have had like a 140-point game. So notice how I'm pretty split, and that's just because I know that I'm, you know, at a little bit of a higher rank than these guys, so I'm trying to flex on them. But I do start playing together with my team here, and I was just awful accuracy. So if you guys get opportunities like this, I like to always use those opportunities to go ahead and heal. But you also have to use discretion, because sometimes you need to just fight. Tried to go ahead and down her since she was weak. I didn't want her getting away to heal. Then luckily that guy just missed every Peacekeeper shot on me, so that's why that worked. I think teammate had a gold revive shielder. Yeah, I think he was able to revive himself. But I want you to notice, this is just a little gun skill tip right here that you guys might not be using. Especially, I find myself doing this a lot with the R99 without a light mag attachment. Notice how after I shot this mag into the Bangalore, I want you to notice what I do. Okay, so if I just stand still and I'm just looking at this Bangalore, okay, she's gonna have a much easier time hitting me with her next Peacekeeper shot. So what I like to do is, since your gun reloads while you run anyways, I like to just start sprinting to the left and to the right and just sliding, because it just makes your strafing a little bit better, and it makes it a lot harder to hit while you're reloading in that little intermission time. So while you guys are reloading, try, especially with the R99 and stuff, try running and sliding from side to side while you reload, just to be a little bit more unpredictable. But like I said, luckily she just could not hit her shots, so that was very fortunate. And I think we're still in zone here. No, we're just a little bit out. So our rotation, I believe we don't go back through the tunnel, and the reason, actually we may go through tunnel. I'm not really sure. I don't remember. If I had a chance to go back, I would not go through the tunnel. I would go towards over here at Fuel Depot. So hopefully that's the decision I make. And then if I do make it, I'll tell you why. Okay, and so I end up going back because we had a fight. But I was going in the right direction. But we did have people come from behind us, so that is why I had to turn around and fight.
35 on 1.
But I will tell you why I was going to head to Fuel Depot instead.
You're alone,
Because it was the better decision as far as rotations.
Yeah, I'm getting inside this thing. I'm gonna pop a quick cell.
I don't know where this Bangalore went. He just bamboozled me. So that portal that they made was a really bad portal. They did not use that very well. And so fortunately they didn't get away for us.
121.
The muzzle flash is just so bad on the R9. I just could not hit my shots after that.
17 on the lifeline.
Or there. I don't want to talk about it.
She's very weak. Popping a battery.
I just don't understand. I just couldn't hit my shots. It's bad.
I drop it up here. To be safe. I think we're gonna chop it.
Alright, so this last person I believe was the Bangalore. I think the Wraith died to teammate. I'm not sure. I don't remember. And then I would just whiff my PK shot there, of course. No, so that Wraith is not dead yet.
26 on this guy over here.
So I was being a bad teammate. I was looting instead of helping.
Pop battery.
And then that was it.
I can't see anybody when I'm looking down to the muzzle flash.
Exactly. So you'll hear my teammate right there saying he could not see while looking down because of muzzle flash, and the muzzle flash was really, really bad. So I was feeling that. I was feeling that as well. I just don't understand why you would add visual clutter to the screen, as knowing that it's, you know, ruining the gameplay and making the gameplay worse. People want it to be more about skill, more about, like, you know, actually having the ability to shoot someone rather than, you know, not being able to see. That just doesn't make any sense because of a muzzle flash. I mean, no one likes it. Like, no one is for keeping muzzle flash the way it is. And I don't understand why they just take so long to change it. All right, so after we did, you know, take out that team, I went back with my original plan to go through Fuel Depot, and the reason being is because at all costs, I like to avoid tunnels, because if you get trapped in a tunnel, you're pretty much like just out of luck and there's not much you can do. So I like to avoid the tunnels. That's why I decided to go around and go to Fuel Depot instead. So here, I'm going to take this high ground advantage on them just because I know they're not there. I'm probably going to phase here, yep, just to make sure I don't take any shots. And then now I have a really good position on these guys to shoot down from above while my teammates are next to them.
Come up here for me.
Zip up to you. Yep. I got a zip though.
So it looks like we were getting third partied by another team, and you'll see how we handle this right here. So unfortunately, I think teammate does go down here, but I think he was able to he did knock one, and thankfully he did get away. So that was a really good job by teammate, especially as Octane, to realize that he's in a bad situation, and instead of trying to fight, and like most people will just complain like, oh, my teammates aren't helping me, he noticed that we're behind, we're playing it a little bit more slow, and so instead of trying to continue to fight, he just runs away. Just get out of that situation and reset. If you guys ever realize that you're losing a gunfight, don't force a fight. I hear a lot of people, especially when I'm on my platinum account, say like, oh, why weren't you fighting with us? Like, it was obvious that we were losing that gunfight. Okay, so we don't just need to accept the defeat and just force ourselves into them and just let them kill us. Back up, reset, and try it again. I was really just missing my shots with the R9 today. I don't really know what was going on there. So I need to get in the fight here because my teammates are trying to kill these kids. And you'll notice we just double pump that Gibby right there in order to take that win over that team. So now we're gonna reset here. We're gonna get full HP. There's gonna be 2 teams left, and we're not in zone. We have 24 seconds left. So our obvious reaction is to go straight to zone.
I got enough cells.
We're in a pretty good position to just go straight to zone here. We don't have to worry about any kind of fancy rotations. So the main thing I would have to say about platinum games, one thing I realized the most is the big difference between like diamond players, predator players, and platinum players. Yes, obviously they're not as familiar with good rotations and all, but the main thing honestly is just gun skill and movement. If you guys could just perfect the movement guide, the movement tips and stuff, and getting better at aiming, that's really where you have your platinum and diamond separation. Because you got to realize diamond players have to play against Apex Predators, so it's pretty tough. So right here, we're not trying to force ourselves into a fight, knowing that there's 3 squads left, and teammate does a really good job to heal up behind this wall before he decides to just cut across, because he was going to be completely one shot. And if he goes down, it could be really rough because he can't get into the building with us, and he also we're going to get rushed by that team if he does go down. So the main thing here, this is something I don't understand why most people don't apply this tip to themselves. When there's 3 squads left, you don't want to be the team engaging, okay? You don't want to be that team that just like gets into the fight. You want to allow them to fight and then just third party them. I know it sounds cheesy, but it's really just the best way. So notice this rotation. This is one thing I really did well, and that you guys definitely need to take account for. So notice how that team obviously knew where we were at, and the only way to get to zone was going to be to run straight to them. Okay, so instead of running straight to that building to get to zone where they are already like at, it'd be much better to just take a full circle around, knowing you have plenty of time. We had 1 minute and 30 seconds left. So just take a full circle around. They're going to, number one, probably not know where you are, but then you're also going to eliminate any people that, or any third party from your back. So while you're going this way, you're most likely either A, going to encounter the team, and then you're going to know, all right, we have a team in front of us, and then that one team at the house that we were at just a minute ago. And so now you know where the last 2 teams are. So now you know how to engage, who to engage, and when to engage. But then also doing this rotation is going to eliminate anyone being from your back, and now you're going to have full view of everyone, and the last 2 teams are going to be in front of you rather than one team being in front of you and the other team to the side of you. So you'll notice now that we've taken a full circle rotation, we came from that one house, so now we know that no one is in between that house and where we are now. They are all going to be in our direct line of sight in the front, and so now you'll see they're actually fighting each other. And so we have people on the train tracks, and then also people in that house originally. So I'm going to try to, I know the teammate had one of them weak, so my goal here is to try to just maybe get one knocked and cause some disruptions here. And then hoping that I can do that is going to allow us to have a 3v2 rather than a 3v3. And I like to, like I said, I like to go ahead and finish down people because I don't like for them to get away and maybe get a possible res, which can cause it to be another 3v3. So I had some background noise right there, so that's why I had to just do a short little cut. But you'll notice, like I said, my original plan is now that we've taken this wide rotation, we know where both teams are, and now one team is sandwiched in between both of us, and we're not the ones that are being sandwiched at all. But that was the science behind that rotation right there. So one team did get eliminated, so now it's just going to be a 3v3. But notice how instead of forcing the fight, when my teammates got weak, I said, let's back up, let's heal up and restart. Because they've already got us beat in this one little fight here, so let's just reset and start a new fight. And that's where a lot of people go wrong. They try to just take one fight and just force it to end immediately. And a lot of times if you're losing that fight, you're going to lose. So just restart. So this Mirage decoy actually started to confuse me because it was continuously running into the wall, and I thought that decoys would stop, but luckily I didn't let it confuse me. So now we're getting split on these people. I have my teammates having 2 different angles, and then I'm coming from a top angle. And then by doing that, we're going to just really sandwich them here in this building. I don't know how this Wraith did not know I was here. It was really her fault, and I don't want to talk about the amount of shots I just missed there. And how she didn't die, and I don't want to talk about those shots either. So notice how I knew that, like, I was so thirsty for that kill, right? I had her so weak, but don't let your self just kind of get forced into that trap there, because I was really going to die there if I allowed that to happen. And so I played these guys really well with this door, able to just destroy that Wraith and then finish off the Mirage afterwards. So notice how I really wanted that Wraith kill, but I chose to let her go knowing that I was going to die to that Mirage. So that's why I used my abilities to get out of that sticky situation. And that's a good example of me making a mistake, getting thirsty, but then because of my raw gun talent, I was able to capitalize on it. So that is fortunate. So that's why I would suggest you guys first getting better at gun skill, getting better at movement, because that'll help you get out of the platinum lobbies level faster. Because it's not like a lot of the platinum lobbies, I'm gonna be honest with you, they're kind of random. People do not play them correctly at all, and so you'll see like a bunch of third parties and fourth parties and fifth parties over and over and over that you don't see in Apex Predator, because an Apex Predator is going to know when to not chase, when to not get too thirsty, when to get away and just let teams go, because if they fall into that trap to chase, then they're going to get punished as well. But in platinum, they really just don't care. They just go full force and they'll just like chase you down like crazy just to get one kill, only to get third party themselves, and they just don't understand that. So that's why platinum level lobbies can be really annoying and kind of frustrating in that situation. So if you guys could just get better at movement and gun skill, then you'll just find yourself just dealing with these players early game and just go ahead and eliminating them and not have to worry about them to begin with. Then once you get into diamond, then you really need to start worrying and focusing on rotations and positioning more and more. So that's my gameplay of the platinum level lobby. So now we're going to go watch an in-game situation of duos sent in by a viewer named Fuse, I think is how you pronounce it. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I really appreciate the submission, and this is a really good feature to show, especially because I think not only is duos coming in ranked next season, but I think that duos is probably one of the better, I think it's a little bit better than trios. It's one of the better situation and game modes for Apex Legends. I think it works really well and it flows really smoothly. So it's going to be really interesting and a lot of action, and it's going to be really exciting to see how they promote duos in the future. And I really hope that it becomes something that they focus on as far as esports goes and things like that. So let's go ahead and hop into the gameplay that he has here. So thankfully that he actually is speaking a foreign language. He did go ahead and transcribe everything for me in English, so that was very generous of him, and I appreciate it. So he's using the wingman and devotion, which by the way is a pretty good combo, especially the devotion. A lot of people don't use the devotion because they think it's just too hefty, maybe not as good as the R9 or whatever, but the devotion, guys, is so good, especially if you can hit your shots. The fire rate just getting faster over time is such a crazy feature, and it just absolutely melts. And I've already watched this, so you'll see at the end game how like insane it is and how fast it melts. And so with this guy being the last one alive and you already have him a little weak, I would just go ahead and take this portal. Just go ahead and chase him, which he does. Most likely you're going to win this gunfight anyways. But if you're in this situation you can't find them, yep, exactly. Just go back to your teammate. Really good job here. And I know all of this is preference, but my only suggestion is I would increase your FOV just a little bit. That's just me though, so you don't have to. It's just something that I personally, I can't do the really close FOVs. I like to have it max. I like to be able to see everything. So really good shots there with a wingman. Have that guy super weak. Fortunately, you're getting third party. And so this guy, the Bangalore, definitely needs to be killed immediately. Go ahead and get her out of the way because she is being too much of a disruption. Alright, see, look at how crazy the devotion is. It really just melts so much. I mean, honestly, there you go. I mean, that's literally all the proof you need as to why you should be using the devotion. Such a good weapon. And so they're playing this really well right now. And he needs to go ahead and heal both of them. Just go ahead and reset. So for this rotation here, I would probably take a wide left and try to go around. Because if you go to the right, it's actually cut off by the mountain. So let's see what they decide to do. I would go through this tunnel to your left. Or left. Yes, I would go to the left. But let's just see what he decides to do. Really good job by shooting that drone before it was too late. Very good rotation here. So he is deciding to go to the left. He's going to make a portal here. So this is a really good job. I'd like to see if he goes through the tunnel or not. I think the tunnel would be really good just because there's only 4 squads left. The zone is pretty big. I don't think anyone's going to be expecting the tunnel. I know I said I usually like to avoid tunnels, but in this situation you can get out of it if things go bad. You can just come right back to where you came because it's a wide open area. But they don't have to go through this tunnel. You could just go straight. We'll just see what they decide to do. Okay, yeah, so they are pressured up against time. They don't have time to go through the cave, so that is a really good insight. I would not have used the zip line right there. Probably could have saved that. But I would do what they're doing now, gatekeeping this team. A lot of people don't take advantage of like situations like this. They just think, oh, we need to get to zone. But you don't have another team engaging right now. This team is pressured up against zone because they tried to chase you guys. Go ahead and punish them. Go ahead and get them out of the game so you can move on. But this Wraith is really weak. I would go ahead and focus her. She's gonna die. Yeah, she's gonna die. She's gonna have to come right now, and that's gonna be 1. And so you're using your map to really block off this angle behind you from this guy with the sniper, so that's a really good job. And so now you only have 3 teams left, and you're in a pretty good spot. I know it looks like you're in a bad spot because you have the low ground and you're not in zone, but they can't see you with all the rocks and with all the mountains, so you have free range to really rotate wherever you want. And so they're already fighting, so now would be a good time to engage. Go ahead and just third party this team. And we'll just see how they choose to play this. So you gotta realize you have 50 seconds left. Zone is not too far, but it can be considered far considering like this is in a small area and the 2 teams are gonna laser you. So you want to go ahead and get good positioning. You're doing a good job trying to stay low and try to stay out of sight while they rotate. Doing a great job. So now they should be able to go ahead and finish this team. Good shots with the wingman. Taking your time to hit those shots. That's really good. Oh, he's so weak. Oh, he's actually so weak. Oh, he is so weak. Very unfortunate right here because now you're in a pretty bad spot and you got a team behind you. That's just not good. Oh, the other team was so weak there. Great job, great knock right there. That's why the devotion is just absolutely incredible. Your teammate's doing a good job too, trying to hold you off by getting shot in the back, allowing you time to heal. But you are in a really unfortunate position right now. Luckily, you're able to knock 1 on each team, so that's going to leave it a 1v1v1. Which is going to be really good for you, and you only did that because of the devotion. I'm telling you, the devotion really allowed you to just go ahead and knock those people really soon. So here comes really fast decision making. I can no way fight this guy on the bridge since he has better position, and I only have 30 health. I think Octane to my left didn't see me, so I decided to rush the Octane, hopefully to scare him. So that's good insight. Obviously, you're not going to win that fight on the guy at the bridge right now, and the Octane has no idea because he's trying to fight the guy on the bridge as well. And so you're just going to take advantage with the devotion. Devotion hipfire is also really good. It was a really good job for you to make that decision right there. Go ahead and finish this Octane so he doesn't. Very fortunate that the guy did not push you right here. That is very fortunate. If this guy was smart, he would have pushed you sooner, but thankfully he didn't. And you're doing a really good job of using your obstacles to buy time while you heal. And so the devotion versus the prowler, I mean, there's really no comparison. The devotion is just such a good weapon. And I can hear you say Devo in the background. So that was a really good gameplay, and you made so many good decisions right there as far as your positioning, using your obstacles, the guns that you use, taking advantage of opportunities. When people are out in the open like that, you really did not let them get away, especially with that devotion. You were able to just track them while they were trying to get back to cover. Going ahead and knocking them is going to be super huge, especially in late game, because teams aren't going to have enough time to revive their friends. So you're going to have a lot of room to really breathe and do whatever you want to do in that situation, which is why you won that game. And that was a lot of good decisions, a lot of things that you made that were really well. So I hope you guys can learn from this video. I hope that this really was informative. I tried to make it really long and really in depth so you guys can really just kind of grow from this and watch it over and over, and whatever it is that you feel like you needed to work on and learn, it should have been covered in this video, because I really did cover everything, and you guys were really requesting for it to be a super long video and to be really in depth. And so that's what I'm going for. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you enjoyed these long videos, make sure to let me know. If you guys want them to be shorter, I'm trying to find that happy medium with these videos here. So I want them to be really informative, but I also want them to be entertaining. So let me know what you guys think about this video in the comments below. Also subscribe to the channel if you want to see more Apex Legends daily videos, including tip guides and leak videos, and how the meta is going to change in the future with all the new events and leaks coming out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you all have a great day. Peace.